Anatomy of a hygiene instrument. Before you begin sharpening with InstRenew, it will be helpful to review some basic instrument anatomy terms, which will be used in this video. Understanding these few basic terms and concepts will improve your results. The instrument handle. The instrument tips. InstRenew Sharpening Assistant allows you to sharpen all types of scalers and curettes. There are 3 basic types of hygiene instruments that can be sharpened with your InstRenew Sharpening Assistant: scalers, universal curettes, and Gracie curettes. All have certain features in common. The terminal shank is the shank area between the blade and the first bend. The top flat surface is the blade face. The portion of the blade face closest to the terminal shank is called the heel. Lateral surfaces intersect the blade face to form sharp cutting edges. The back of the blade, opposite the blade face, is called the spine. Scaler blades come to a sharp point, called the tip. Curette blades have a rounded tip, called a toe. Gracie curettes are sharp on one side of the blade. The Gracie blade face is set at an angle to the terminal shank. The sharp edge is located on the lower or outer edge of the blade face. Notice that the angle between the blade face and the lateral surface is the same for all 3 types: Gracie curettes, universal curettes, and scalers. The fact that all hygiene instruments share this common angle is the reason that all scalers and curettes can be sharpened the same way with InstRenew. The InstRenew has 3 basic components. 1. The blade positioner. 2. The tip clamp. 3. The sharpening cone. The blade positioner sets the blade face of every scaler and curette into the correct position for sharpening, with the blade face perfectly flat. Operate the InstRenew from the front of the machine. Insert the blade into the positioner with the tip pointing toward the back of the machine. The blade positioner has a groove on the top to align the blade, a bar that positions and holds the blade, and a knurled outer ring that raises and lowers the bar. Slide the spine of the blade along the groove with the blade face up so that about 1/3 of the blade extends past the bar. Support the instrument handle loosely. Lower the bar onto the blade face by turning the knurled outer ring clockwise. Be sure to tighten the outer ring securely. Inserting the blade too far into the positioner will make it difficult to remove from the positioner. If the blade is not inserted far enough into the positioner, it will not hold the tip. When the bar has been sufficiently tightened against the blade face, the instrument will be held in the correct position without additional support. The tip clamp enables the instrument to be moved from the blade positioner to the sharpening cone while maintaining the correct position. The tip clamp has jaws that hold the instrument shank. The front knob rotates the jaws so they can be positioned to surround any straight portion of the shank. The rear knob opens and closes the jaws and locks the jaw rotation. The dial on the bottom of the tip clamp raises and lowers the tip clamp head. Most scalers and curettes can be easily clamped without moving the tip clamp up or down. Position the jaw so that they completely surround any straight portion of the shank. Adapting the shank too deep in the jaws or too shallow in the jaws will not allow the shank to be clamped securely. With the jaws correctly positioned around the shank, place a finger on top of the tip clamp to stabilize it as you tighten the jaws. Turn the rear knob clockwise to tighten the jaws and clamp the tip. Make sure to tighten the knob securely. Then tighten it a little more. Now that the tip is securely clamped in the correct position, release the blade from the blade positioner by turning the outer ring counterclockwise. By grasping only the tip clamp, move the instrument from the blade positioner to the sharpening cone. There is no need to hold the instrument handle, as this may disturb the blade angle. The diamond-coated sharpening cone is set at the correct undercut angle for all scalers and curettes. To turn it on, press the red power button on the front of the machine. While only holding the tip clamp, move the instrument toward the cone and lightly trace each cutting edge from heel to toe. Press the red button again to turn the machine off. To lubricate and clean metal shavings from the surface of the cone, we recommend a small amount of petroleum jelly, applied as shown. Never use honing oils or other liquids for this purpose. Always sharpen with an even controlled motion. Moving the blade too quickly across the cone will not allow the blade to be sufficiently sharpened. Using too much pressure or moving the blade too slowly across the cone could remove more of the blade than necessary. Before removing the instrument from the tip clamp, Extend the instrument beyond the side of the machine and check your results with the test stick. If your blade catches on the test stick, it is sharp and you can remove it from the tip clamp. Extremely dull blades may require additional sharpening. Check for sharpness after tracing each cutting edge.